Anaconda is a movie about a creature that can't be reasoned with, can't be negotiated with, and definitely doesn't respect personal space. Coincidentally, that's also a toddler on an airplane. I'm Bobby Reelz from the Movie Crashers, and this is How to Beat the Riverside Hugger from Anaconda with skunk-drunk Uncle Logic. The movie opens on the Amazon River with Poacher Guy, alone on a boat, trying to call for help on the radio, like the jungle has a 24/7 hotline. Nobody answers, which means the radio works perfectly. It's just accurately reporting that no one cares. Then the boat starts rocking. But it's not waves and not wind. It's more like someone is shaking a vending machine to dislodge a snack. The floorboards pop loose, and Poacher Guy realizes something underneath him is remodeling the boat from the outside. Poacher Guy sprints up to the top deck, panicking at an enemy we don't even get to see. Because the movie wants you to understand, this creature doesn't need screen time to win. And that's when Poacher Guy reaches the final stage of fear. The stage where you decide your own ending before nature picks one for you. Cut to Jungle Hotel with Wi-Fi, where J-Lo is working on a laptop the size of checked luggage. A knock at the door. Enter Mud Professor, the anthropologist joining her expedition. He comes in with a map and the confidence of a man who thinks a line on paper can defeat the Amazon. J-Lo notices Mud Professor looks medically compromised. She asks what happened. He casually says he battled piranhas. Like piranhas are just co-workers who don't respect boundaries. Next morning, J-Lo meets the full documentary crew. Ice Cube, narrator guy, weird boat skipper, hot girlfriend, and Owen Wilson. And just like that, the expedition has everything it needs except survival skills. They load up, and Mud Professor does the responsible speech. Test your gear, pack your bug spray, and try not to become a cautionary tale. Meanwhile, narrator guy starts doing the voiceover, selling it like a premium adventure. Even though the actual plan is just keep going upriver until the rainforest either gives you a tribe or takes you as a donation. It starts raining immediately because the rainforest heard the narration and took it personally. Then, the documentary crew hears screaming ahead. Amazon grifter waving from a busted boat, like the river just randomly did this to him. Mud Professor orders the skipper to pull over, so they haul Amazon grifter on board and agree to drop him at the next village. Which is insane, because if you're a real documentary crew, every obstacle is content. You don't just help people, you monetize the inconvenience. Step 1, camera first. You are content makers, for God's sake. Before the rope goes out, the lens goes on. Because if nobody saw you being heroic, you just risked your life as a personal growth exercise. Now, while you're at it, create some tear-jerker content. Amazon grifter looks into the camera and gives you a clean, what happened monologue. Tears are mandatory. Clarity is optional. But if he can't make a good story out of his situation, send him back on his boat and delete the footage. Next, sponsor ad. Before he steps on deck, he has to do a full commercial while rain is hitting him in the face. This rescue is brought to you by Garmin GPS, because if you're going to get lost in the Amazon, at least do it with premium satellites and a user-friendly interface. If he can't sell navigation under pressure, why even bother saving him? And finally, before you let him sit down, make him do some shout-outs. Something like, big thanks to J-Lo and the crew for saving me. Like and subscribe. Because if you're risking predator water, I hope you're at least leaving with a call to action. Next morning, Amazon grifter gives the crew his origin story like he's accepting an award. He says he studied to be a priest, but now his calling is snakes. He catches them for zoos and collectors, which is poaching with better PR. But he insists it's not poaching, it's reptile delivery. Then Amazon grifter asks the documentary crew what they're doing out here. Mud Professor says they're filming a documentary to find the Shirishamas, a lost tribe. And Amazon grifter immediately perks up like a pickpocket spotting cargo shorts, which means he knows them. And as a thank you for saving his life, Amazon grifter offers to guide the crew. Because nothing says credible tour guide like a man whose job is catching innocent creatures and selling them to rich people. J-Lo asks how long until they reach the tribe, and Amazon grifter goes into legend mode, telling some dramatic tribal story like he's doing bedtime folklore for investors. Mud Professor corrects him. Wrong tribe. So now we got a credential off on a wet boat. I trap snakes for a living. I locate tribes for a living. And J-Lo is stuck in the middle like, amazing. 2 different ways to get us killed. So Mud Professor pulls rank and tells Weird Boat Skipper to follow his direction. Like the Amazon cares who has tenure. Amazon grifter gets offended and hits them with the classic manipulation move. If you don't trust me, drop me at the next village. Which really sting, because they've grown attached to this human cigarette with a ponytail they met just yesterday. That night, Owen Wilson and hot girlfriend girlfriend announce they're going out to record forest sounds. Because when you're in the Amazon, the real emergency is, do we have enough ambience? J-Lo tells him to be careful. But in the Amazon, that's basically like taping a Band-Aid on a volcano. In the jungle, Owen Wilson and hot girlfriend realize they're alone and immediately start making out like they're attempting to create one more crew member. They're recording forest sounds, but the only audio they capture is bad decisions in stereo. Then the rainforest goes quiet, like nature just hit mute to listen for the appetizer. Something starts stalking them and they bolt, because in the Amazon, looking back is just confirming you're doomed. A gunshot rings out, and guess who shows up like a spam email on a Thursday night? Amazon grifter, dragging back a giant boar like, relax, I saved Owen Wilson. Everyone on the boat rushes out, and Mud Professor finally makes the smartest announcement of his entire career. Nobody leaves the boat at night, a policy that really should have existed even before the romance expedition. The next day, the boat gets snagged by something underwater. Mud Professor dives in to fix it and immediately starts choking, like the Amazon just issued him a cease and desist. They haul him back up and find a giant wasp lodged in his mouth, because even the insects here do jump scares. Amazon grifter performs impromptu jungle surgery and saves him, which is low-key inconvenient because now he looks useful. Then the radio dies. Weird boat skipper says he can't fix it, and Amazon grifter suggests a route to a hospital, the same route he's been pushing from the get-go. J-Lo gets suspicious, but with Mud Professor half dead and no comms, the crew does what every horror movie crew does. They follow the sus guy anyway, and I can't believe J-Lo says yes to this. Because every girl knows that when a sus guy wants to take you somewhere, you interrogate his motives like you're auditioning for the chief waterboarder role at Guantanamo. First, fact check how well he actually knows the route he's suggesting. Ask him, what's so special about this route? How many snakes live there roughly? And be honest, when you say there's a hospital, is this a real thing or is it just a hut with a bucket and a guy in a white coat with a knife? If he can't describe it like it exists in physical reality, it's not a real route. It's foreplay for a missing persons report. Rule number 2, public places only. You only agree to go to the Amazon equivalent of a well-lit restaurant. Villages, boat traffic, anything with witnesses, preferably human. If his route is faster and quieter, tell him, nice try, Diddy, and submit this story as a pitch to a true crime podcast. Next, always remember to share location. Even if you're in the jungle. Radio's dead? Great. You invent a signal. Flares, smoke, banging metal, making Owen Wilson say, wow, all night on repeat. Anything that could turn the boat into a moving ringtone that says, we're following this man only semi-consensually. And finally, chaperone protocol. Amazon grifter doesn't get to guide from the front, like he's a self-appointed captain. He sits in the middle. In frame, supervised, like your drink, which your friend is holding while you go to the bathroom at the club. So yeah, when a sus man with a ponytail says, trust me, you don't follow. Unless you already have a prepaid interview deal with TMZ. So they follow Amazon grifter's hospital route all day. And, shock, he leads them straight into a giant wall blocking the river. Not we took a wrong turn. Not maybe the map is off. Just a full-on Amazon brick wall like the rainforest has closed this part of the map, GTA 3 style. Amazon grifter goes, relax, then pulls out dynamite. Because when your radio is dead, your professor is half alive, and you're one bad decision away from becoming algae, the next logical tool is explosives. He even recruits Owen Wilson to help set the charges, like this is a DIY TV show called Extreme River Renovation Lawsuit Edition. While they're playing arts and crafts with TNT, Owen Wilson notices something moving in the water and tells Amazon grifter. And Amazon grifter's like, yeah, there's something in there indeed. No panic, no backup plan. Just calm confirmation. Like, correct, we are currently being watched by a monster. Continue wiring the bomb, lil bro. They blow the wall. Huge boom. Big hero moment for exactly 1 second until the Amazon hands them a bill. Debris rains down, smacks their boat, and knocks over their last fuel, like the jungle is doing budget cuts in real time. And then the blast releases dozens of baby snakes onto the deck, like they detonated a piñata filled with anxiety. Everyone freaks out, obviously. And Amazon grifter just starts efficiently tossing the baby snakes back like he's firing unpaid interns who dared to question their workload. Narrator Guy accuses Amazon grifter of knowing that Wall was basically a snake nursery. And Amazon grifter tells him it was just a pleasant surprise, like they found some extra guac, not a swarm of living nightmares. And J-Lo can feel it in her gut. This man is not ex-husband material. Then Amazon grifter leads him to an abandoned boat, the poacher's boat, boat from the opening, claiming it might have fuel. Because if you're ever unsure what the worst possible plan is, it's always, let's check the boat where a man decided death was the better option. He takes Ice Cube and Weird Boat Skipper with him. And Ice Cube looks like he's mentally writing his next hip-hop hit, F the Jungle. On board, Amazon Grifter finds an old newspaper that basically exposes him, Weird Boat Skipper, and the dead poacher as former business partners in questionable snake redistribution. He snatches the paper and hides it immediately. Like a teenager hearing mom's footsteps and closing 17 tabs. Some might say it would have been smarter to destroy that evidence, but who doesn't want a physical keepsake from the time you and your besties were poaching together? They head back. Except Weird Boat Skipper slips into the water and disappears into a 25-foot anaconda. Nobody sees it, and honestly, nobody even seems to care that much. Ice Cube is the only one who decides to go look for him, but all he finds is the torch floating there, like the Amazon politely saying, yeah, Skipper's not using this anymore. That's when Amazon Grifter finally stops easing them in and admits the truth. There is an anaconda. Skipper most likely became dinner, and this whole detour was never about a hospital. It was about hunting the snake for cash. But J-Lo, still bargaining with reality, insists they stay overnight because she genuinely believes Weird Boat Skipper might just swim back 5 hours later like he forgot his keys or something. While everybody knows that when one of your crew goes missing during a night out, you can't just wait till morning. You must act fast. Step 1, the where you at spam. You blow up his phone like it's CPR. Where are you? Answer. Bro? Even though there's no service, and also, he's currently inside a reptile. Still, you send it. At the very least, you'll be able to show the text to his parents as proof you tried. Step 2, the dramatic fake search lab. Everybody stands up at once, does one aggressive sweep of the obvious area, shines a flashlight in 2 directions, yells his name one time like it's a ritual, and then declares, okay, we looked everywhere. You didn't, of course. You just performed looking, but it's good for your own conscience. And again, it makes it easier to tell his parents you did your best. Step 3, check his ex's address, because everybody knows that when a guy goes missing during a night out, 9 times out of 10, he didn't get kidnapped. He drifted back to old setting. So you point the boat toward the Amazon equivalent of her place and search around it like, okay, where would a grown man crawl if his only navigation system is regret? If you find his torch near a suspiciously familiar hut, congrats. He didn't die. He just got emotionally rerouted by alcohol. And finally, check the bathrooms, because when a guy vanishes on a night out, there's always a solid chance he just found a bathroom and confused it with his own studio apartment. After all, same layout, same vibe. So you do the full sweep. Every toilet, every bush, every corner, every private spot on the boat. You knock like a landlord. Hello? You alive in there? Because nothing is more humiliating than launching a rescue operation and finding your missing bro asleep on the floor, hugging a urinal. That night, Amazon Grifter finally finds his first investor, Owen Wilson. He whispers sweet nonsense about millions they can make poaching giant snakes, and Owen Wilson immediately believes him, because nothing clouds judgment faster than jungle humidity and the promise of being rich later. The next day, Amazon Grifter shoots a monkey to use as bait. Just straight up murders a monkey, like this is a LinkedIn networking event for predators. So, J-Lo shuts it down immediately. No anaconda hunting on her boat, which is bold, considering the man with the gun has already emotionally moved in. That's when Owen Wilson flipped. He suggests they all just cooperate, drop their original documentary concept, and film Amazon Grifter catching the snake instead. As a bonus, Amazon Grifter promises riches and safe passage out of the jungle, which is exactly how cults and crypto podcasts began. Ice Cube responds correctly by threatening to throw both of them into the river, but Amazon Grifter responds incorrectly by firing a warning shot near Ice Cube. The universal signal for, look at me, I'm the captain now. So yeah, the boat has been officially rebranded as a hostage situation. That night, Amazon Grifter runs his master plan. Monkey bait, ropes, confidence, timing, safety, and patience. But the anaconda attacks immediately, because nature doesn't give a damn about anybody's careful plans. Ice Cube gets knocked down, narrator guy barely avoids becoming trivia, and the snake goes straight for J-Lo, like she wants a refund for the canceled concert in Paraguay. Amazon Grifter tranquilizes the snake, which somehow makes everything worse. Owen Wilson's girlfriend falls into the water, and Owen Wilson dives in after her, because survival instincts are optional, and the girlfriend is hot. They make it back to the boat. Brief hope, immediate regret. The anaconda reappears and starts crushing Owen Wilson like a stress toy. J-Lo tries to shoot it, but Amazon grifter knocks the gun away because everybody knows no oligarch would buy a dead snake. And just like that, Owen Wilson is sacrificed to the profit margin. The snake eats him alive while his girlfriend watches, screaming. An Amazon grifter stands there calm, focused, and pleased because the asset is still intact. All because before Owen Wilson jumped in to save his girlfriend, he should have done the math. First, skill assessment. Are you trained, armed, hydrodynamic, or are you Owen Wilson with wet shoes and good intentions? Because charging a 25-foot anaconda with nothing but Wes Anderson credits is low-key wild. Second, threat comparison. Is the danger something you can fight or something that eats deer whole and still has room for dessert? If the enemy's neck is thicker than your torso, let the lady decide her own fate. Don't intervene. Third, and this is uncomfortable, girlfriend evaluation. Is she your future wife? Shared finances, shared trauma, shared Netflix password, or is this a 6-month situationship you met before the jungle humidity revealed her true personality? Let's be honest, there are tiers to sacrifice. So yeah, if your plan requires wrestling a prehistoric nightmare to save someone you haven't even argued about furniture with yet, it ain't worth it, bruh. At this point, the boat has lost a skipper, a boyfriend, the plot, and any sense of Coast Guard-approved behavior. So, J-Lo, Ice Cube, and narrator guy finally do the thing horror characters hate most. Devise a plan. J-Lo goes to seduce Amazon grifter as a distraction while Ice Cube gets ready to shoot him, which is brutal because they're trying to trick a man who's already been betrayed by chromosomes, society, and his barber. Amazon grifter pretends to play along for about 3 seconds. Then clocks the setup because he's not here to date. He's here to monetize reptiles. He counterattacks, and the plan immediately becomes a group project where everyone is failing, but with confidence. Then narrator guy steps in and hits Amazon grifter in the back of the head twice, like he's closing an old laptop. Except with the human head, this tactic actually works. Ice Cube pitches a really cool idea. Throw Amazon grifter into the river and forget about it. But J-Lo is done with death on her boat, so she goes with the moral option. Tie him up and leave him without food or water under the scorching sun. Later, J-Lo confronts Amazon grifter and lists every red flag. The shipwreck was a setup, the route was a setup, the hospital was a setup. The whole thing was a guided tour into insanity. Amazon grifter casually reminds her he also weaponized the wasp situation to take Mud Professor out. Like sabotage is just a fun hobby for this guy. So, J-Lo punches him, and it feels satisfying. In the same way, pressing an elevator button twice feels productive. Meanwhile, narrator guy gives Ice Cube boat driving lessons, which is adorable because these men still believe they're going home after this. They're daydreaming about peace and comfort like the Amazon didn't just eat their co-worker yesterday. And right on cue, the river traps them at a waterfall. Like the jungle put a hand on the boat's chest and said, "Where do you think you're going?" They decide the best fix is to get in the water and winch the boat loose. Because when you're being hunted by a river monster, the smartest move is to step into the buffet line. At the same time, hot girlfriend finally goes for revenge, walks up to tied up Amazon grifter with a knife, and still gets outplayed. He strangles her with his thighs, like someone who's definitely not a stranger to pole dancing, grabs her knife, and starts cutting himself free. And now the anaconda returns like it heard there's fresh drama. It goes after J-Lo and Ice Cube, while narrator guy tries to distract it like he's negotiating with a tornado. Somehow, this offends the snake on a personal level. It climbs a tree, intercepts narrator guy inside a waterfall, and technically saves him from falling by snatching him midair and eating him alive. And in the middle of all this, Mud Professor wakes up from his coma like, "Did I miss anything?" J-Lo and Ice Cube scramble back, but Ice Cube is wounded and moving slow, which in the Amazon signals a dinner reservation. The anaconda coils him up, and J-Lo finally does what she's always dreamed of doing to people asking for autographs on the street. She grabs a gun and unloads into the creature's head until it lets go. Amazon grifter freaks out because she ruined the asset and goes to finish them off. But Mud Professor pops up out of nowhere and stabs Amazon grifter with the reptile tranquilizer. Amazon grifter still tries to choke him out until the drugs hit and his body remembers it's not the main character. So Ice Cube finally knocks Amazon grifter into the water. And at this point, the only people whose choices we should question are Amazon grifter's employers. Because if you genuinely need a 25-foot anaconda captured alive for billionaire entertainment, why did you hire a man whose process is panic, lie, and point a gun at Ice Cube? Step Step 1, hire a team, not just one shady guy with a ponytail and opinions. If billionaires are paying millions for a live anaconda, you can afford a full operation. Wildlife handlers, medics, a boat crew, and one exhausted accountant whose only job is saying no. And while you're at it, rent an actual working boat. Because if you need Amazon grifter to hijack somebody else's expedition just to get transportation, you don't have snake money. You have hamster mullah. Next, bait smarter. Pros use controlled bait, synthetic scent trails, remote lures, illegal military issue AI drones, for God's sake. While Amazon grifter uses dead monkeys like he's poor, which is embarrassing. Step 3, KPI priorities. In a competent operation, the number 1 KPI is snake captured in X minutes for Y dollars. And in Amazon grifter's operation, the KPI is X crew members eaten alive for Y random reason. So to put it simply, if this movie teaches us anything, it's that billionaires are terrible at hiring talent. So anyway, they keep limping down the river, and Ice Cube spots an abandoned dock like it's a Chevron in the apocalypse. He tells J-Lo, we might find fuel here. And J-Lo agrees to check it out, because in horror movies, abandoned is just another word for free parking. They step onto the dock, start poking around, and Amazon grifter appears. Turns out this man doesn't die. He just re-enters the story like your worst ex, uninvited, confident, and somehow still talking about money. He takes them hostage and announces the new plan. They are bait now, which is a bold career pivot for 2 people who signed up to film trees. Then the river sends in the upgrade, a 40-foot female anaconda, the HOA president of the Amazon. It coils around J-Lo and Ice Cube and starts squeezing, slow and methodical, like it's trying to turn 2 celebrities into one red carpet. Naturally, Amazon grifter tries to capture it with a net. A net, like he's scooping laundry out of a washing machine. The net immediately tears, because this is not a fish. This is a living freight train with a personal grudge. So the snake finally films its best mukbang. It devours Amazon grifter whole. J-Lo and Ice Cube scramble, but J-Lo ends up inside a building that's basically a maternity ward for baby anacondas. Mama Snake shows up, snatches her, and then regurgitates Amazon grifter back out like he's extra mayo beef shawarma eaten on a dare. So Ice Cube goes full anti-capitalist union worker and refuses to die on the job. He pins the anaconda with a pickaxe, like he's trying to make the snake respect gravity. He sends J-Lo up the smokestack like she's escaping a club bathroom, then starts a fire below, officially upgrading the plan from escape to insurance claim. The building explodes. The burning anaconda drops into the river. Ice Cube and J-Lo fully relaxed. Weapons down, breathing normal, like it's a foreign artist category at the Grammys. But suddenly, the anaconda resurfaces for one last attack, because apparently, this snake has the same work ethic as the Germans. And that's how you learn the oldest rule of survival. Never celebrate too early. First thing to remember, no victory noise until you do a dead check. No hugging, no we made it, no J-Lo victory pose. You stand there and watch the body like you're waiting for it to stay dead. Because celebrating early is how people post my soulmate couple photos and break up 3 days later. Also, don't forget to perform the one last bite test. You poke it, you prod it, you keep your distance. Weapon stays up. If it twitches, you don't scream. You just go, of course, and handle it. Same way you don't announce I'm rich, just because your crypto app shows green for 12 minutes. And finally, don't declare mission accomplished until you're out of range. We killed it isn't enough. Always aim for something like, we killed it, burned it, buried it, and sent it to the moon in a sealed pod. Because premature victory speeches are for politicians who announce, we fulfilled our campaign promise. And then find out what the Supreme Court thinks about it. Subscribe.